I want to take this moment right now to say thank you to all of the channel members. I want to say thank you to Journey with Kiki, Kimberly Davis, Happy 1178, and Lovely Samira. Thank you for your love and support, and I hope that you are enjoying your benefits to the fullest. Stay tuned for the disclaimer video.
Hello, beautiful people. Welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome back. If you are a returning supporter, I'm here to give you the disclaimers for this here live. Listen, I do not tolerate disrespect. That's in any way, shape, form, or fashion, whether it's towards me, towards anyone that appears on the screen, towards anyone that appears in the chat. If you have not decided to be a better person, most people will tell you to leave, but I'm going to tell you to stick around because maybe something that is said today will encourage you to do so. Now, I am not a mental health professional. I am just one woman willing to share my personal experiences to let you know two things. One, you are not alone, regardless of how much you feel like you are alone, how many times you have felt that, you are not alone. And number two, you can overcome anything that life throws at you. There will be curse words, there will possibly be tears, but knowing me, it probably will be. And my opinions are my opinions. Your opinions are your opinions. We are here to have a nurturing conversations in regards to our opinions so that we will have a better understanding of each other. That's all I got for right now. I hope that you enjoy this nurturing conversation. Let's get to it. Wait. If you haven't already, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button that helps me say suggested on YouTube. Make sure that you type in the chat, also leave a comment, and share it with your friends. That's all I got. Let's get into this conversation. I love you. Peace.
Okay, let's try it again. Hello, beautiful people. I already said welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome back. If you are a returning supporter, I'm super excited about today's conversational piece. We are talking about embracing the transition. These last 3 years of not just my life, I'm going to say everyone's life, we've had to face transitions. We had to embrace change. A lot of us met the changes and transitions head on, and a lot of us are still, kind of trying to figure it out where we should go, what we should be doing, why we should be doing the things that we love. And so tonight I just wanted to talk about embracing the transition. Um, of course, as always, I will speak from my personal experience and my point of view, and you can feel free to share where you are, what your thoughts are, and we're here to have a nurturing conversation. Um, when I think of transition, I think of movement, I think of flow, I think of the ending of something and the starting of something and the beginning of something new. I will be the first to say I get comfortable in things and situations, and once I get comfortable, it's hard to transition. It's hard to move from the place of comfortability. Why did I just get? Anyways, it's difficult to move from your comfort zone, especially when you've been in a space for so long. Um, like I was saying, these last 3 years, or since the start of the pandemic, since 2020, my life has definitely went through several transitions. And at first, um, I'm not about to start crying at the beginning. I just started the podcast. Anyways, at first, I was dreading. I was dreading the transitions. I was dreading starting over. I was dreading um, losing my safety net. I was dreading a lot of things. Like I was more focused on the negative than focusing on the positive, right? When I decided to go on a journey of healing and self discovery, I began to realize that there were more positive things happening in my life. However, I had become accustomed to only highlighting the negative things, to only highlighting the things that I was going without, rather than highlighting the things that I had or that I'd already uh, that I have already overcome. So during this journey, um, I've definitely embraced emotions. I embraced transition. I sure in hell embraced change. I did. And it's crazy because I was so excited. I was looking forward. I knew one day that it would happen. I just anticipated like the change happening around me and not in me. So when the change started to happen within me, I started to pay attention to the journey. I if I've said it multiple times. If you decide to go on a journey of healing and self discovery, there's two things you need to know. One, be honest, be completely honest with yourself. I know we feel like we be honest with ourselves every day, but we be telling ourselves lies. We lie to ourselves a lot of times. When when we say we're not tired, but we know we're not tired. When we say we when we say we're hungry, or we're not hungry, but we know we're hungry. It's like all when we say we feel love, but we really don't. When we happy, but we really not. We lie to ourselves every day, and like I feel like I said to myself, I said coming into 2023, I said 2020. I just was like flying by the seat of my pants. 2021, I began to like grab hold of my life. 2022 was like, whew, 2022 was definitely like I'm in this for the long haul. So 2023 is like I'm doing everything. I'm testing everything. I'm doing everything. If I fail, I fail. If I be successful, I be successful. But most importantly of all, I'm going to learn. So my I started on the word to tell you two things. One, be honest with yourself. Do not lie. Tell yourself the truth. If you do not like the way someone is treating you, don't just think like, oh, because that's my parents or my auntie, that because you they hold a special place in your heart. Don't think that they cannot disrespect you, because they do disrespect you, and they be some of the ones that quickly disrespect you. So tell yourself the truth. If you don't feel comfortable in a situation, you just don't feel comfortable in the situation. Figure out why and get out of it. And number two, enjoy the journey. Enjoy it. A lot of times when you go on a journey of healing and self-discovery, it's going to take you back to the very instance and when your life changed, your views on life changed. It'll take you back to that very moment, and then from that moment forth you have to relive. And this is when I learned that I've overcome a lot. I was saying to someone, I was saying to someone yesterday, I said, I can acknowledge my personal growth. Because I remember a time I would be so petty. And I'm not talking about like that minuscule, like, oh, that was petty type petty. I'm talking about like, holy shit. That was like, and not on purpose. It's just, I don't know. I just had this thing about me. I don't know. It was like, I don't know. Y'all see how it kind of brought me a little joy right there. It's, it, it definitely gave me, it was a highlight of my life sometimes, just being petty. But now I'm in a space where it's like, I don't feel the need to be petty. I rather feel the need to have a conversation and understand like how, there's no growth and there's no progress. And I get it. Everybody's journey is not going to be my journey. I definitely understand that. However, as I was telling this person, I was like, if your life hasn't changed, and I don't mean like, oh, okay, COVID happened and that was the only change to your life. I mean like, if you had hopes, dreams, and aspirations, and you're not trying to like accomplish those things right now in 2023, if you wanted to start your own business and you're not, and you haven't even put the best foot forward, or you haven't even stepped out on that, definitely 2023 is definitely that time to do that. If you want to start a YouTube but you haven't even did it because you feel like you got to have the right lights, cameras, all of that stuff, you are definitely behind the game, because your iPhone, your Android, whatever phone you got in your hand could do a better job. I'm going to say a better job than any camera, because it's not necessarily the camera, it's the person that's operating the camera, right? So I'm here to tell you to embrace the change, embrace the transition. I when I thought about where I wanted to be, what I wanted to do, what I want to accomplish in 2023. Usually there's like I want to do this, and then it's like, nah, I can't do that because I don't got this or I don't got that. And so I noticed the growth in myself because I was like, okay, I want to do this. Who do I know that is already doing this? Who do I know that can help me along this road? I began to like find resources, and I began to tap into those resources and utilize them to build on where I want to go. I began to embrace, okay, you know what? I drag my feet or I procrastinate because I find there's like I don't even know, insert word here, when it's like crunch time. I know that has something to do with my childhood, and I'm working through that process, but I could like have a whole day full of doing nothing. I could sleep all day and know that I have a project due at 7 o'clock. I will literally get up at 6:35 and already it's already completed. So all I have to do is go over it one time and then boom, submit it every time. That used to be me. I say used to be because it's not me like present day. But I noticed on this journey of healing and self discovery that I would wait because that build up. I don't even know what it's called, but that thing is what inspired me. It's what helped me get it done. And now I think about it as like I don't need that. Like I already know what I need to do, so then I just start doing it. It's like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do that when I get a little more money, or I'm gonna do that once I get my degree, or I'm gonna do that when I get this ring, I'm gonna do that. Or when I become a parent, I'm gonna do that. Or when my child get older, I'm gonna do like it's always something that we need in order for us to do something. When in actuality, I tell myself this every day when I look in the mirror. I say you have everything you need to be successful already on the inside of you. We were born with it. So if you ever have this idea that's in the back of your head and you can't let it go and it's just right there, I feel like that's what you should be doing. And I'm saying this from personal experience because I was like, I love singing, I love songwriting, I love creating beats, but my most important thing that I love the most is helping artists administrate their music. That's what I love doing that. Of course, I'm talented. I could do multiple different things. I could do multiple things at one time, but I love music administration. And the crazy thing is, when I was in college and I was studying, my degree is actually in, excuse me, music administration. You ever go to like geometry class or chemistry class and you're like, I'm not going to use this in my everyday life. You real life, like, what I'm going to do with these equations, right? And then when you think about life in both literally and figuratively, you are using chemistry. You are using those breakdowns. You are using all of that stuff. It just might not be in the way that you thought that you were going to use it. I'll take myself, for example, right? I was with someone and I was like, we're going to be the ultimate power couple. We're going to be the ultimate power couple. You do what you do, I do what I do. And combined, we are forced to be reckoned with, right? And kept saying, ultimate power couple, ultimate power couple. So then when we broke up, I was like, wait a minute. Now that mean I gotta be an ultimate power couple with somebody else. Like, what's going on? And then you have all those different things. Like, man, I'm getting older. I don't want to start over. Like we have those different hangups, and I feel like a lot of those different hangups we come from like outside things. Like, you ever had somebody tell you, "You 30 with no kids? What you waiting on?" Or, when you gonna give me some grandbabies? Your mom or daddy or family members ever said that? You don't want to have no kids. How old is you and you don't got no kids? Trust me, I get it all the time. And I'm just like, no, I wanted to have kids. I did. I'm not gonna say I didn't. I wanted to have kids, and I would have loved to have kids, and I will still love to this very day to meet someone and be able to have kids with them. However, that's not something that I am humanly humanly capable of doing at this present time. So, um, yeah, it's accepting that transition. It's accepting that it took me a minute. I'm not gonna say I fully accepted it and I'm like, oh yeah, but I'm still processing. It's a everyday process for me. Have you ever scrolled on TikTok or have you ever scrolled on Instagram? Instagram seem like they have the beautifulest babies. Oh, they'd be so cute. Big eyes, long hair, curly hair. They'd be so cute. And I'd just be looking like, man, man. Y'all notice I just say one day I was just, man. But I had to embrace that transition. I was like, I'm not gonna be able to have kids, and I was doing the whole little "woe is me," and then somebody was like, "Girl, you better go adopt you some kids or go foster you some kids," and I was like, I didn't even think about that component of it. I wasn't thinking about being a foster parent or a foster mom because I was hell bent on having my own. It's like, yeah, one day when I get older, more established, my career is where it's gonna be. Yeah, of course I'm gonna have some kids. Of course. But now as I'm older and I'm just like, I love kids. I do. I love kids. But for me to have my own kids, that's going to be a big transition. That's going to be a it's going to be a huge change. Even if the person I date have kids, like I now if you have more than 3, I'm sorry. I don't have any. So I mean, yeah. Y'all see where I'm going with that. But it's a change. It's a transition for me, right? I was talking to my brothers earlier and I was like, this time last year I was at the hospital um getting some of the most devastating news. Why did I laugh when I said devastating news? Getting some of the most devastating news um I'm gonna say of my life. Well, I've had a lot of no. I'm gonna say the most devastating news of my life. And as this month started, I was like, I feel weird. I just felt weird, right? And I'm doing my meditations. I'm just working on things. I'm handling business, and I the last couple of days I just been sitting doing nothing, right? And I became so overwhelmed because I was wondering why I was feeling down or like I had this anxious, nervous feeling. And it was because last year at this time, I was anxious and I was nervous and I wasn't sure on what was going to happen, but I knew that I felt loved. Whatever happened, I knew that I felt love. And for me, that in and of itself was a transition because while I have loved everybody. I've literally loved everybody I've ever met in my life. I was unable to receive the same love that I gave out during this process of during this journey of healing and self discovery. I recognized that. I recognized that I was unable to receive a compliment. Like people would tell me, you did a good job, or just saying all of those accolades all of the time, and I would just look like, okay, could we stop talking about it? You think we could like change the subject and move on to something else? And I realized like I wasn't able to receive that. I wasn't able to receive the accomplishments. Like I felt like I felt bad. I had no reason to feel bad, but I felt bad. I felt like, okay. And then while I while I was saying, while I was talking to the people I was talking to, I said, you know what? But I can connect my inability to receive compliments or my inability to accept the accolades came from my childhood. And I'm going to tell y'all how it came from my childhood. I'm going to call that nervous laughter. Um, when I was younger, it was the compliments from the older people that opened the door for my innocence being taken away. It was the compliments after like situation would happen, and it's just like I feel so dirty. I feel disgusting, and it was just like I'm just not gonna accept compliments. I'm not gonna anything. I'm gonna downplay everything that it has to do with that, And so I'm not going to like celebrate. I real life was sitting here planning out 2023. I'm planning out March. I'm doing all this planning, right? And I'm like, I've never really celebrated any accomplishment ever in my life. I have a lot of things that I accomplish, right? And so it's the transition from never celebrating anything to wanting to celebrate everything. Even though it is our time has already passed, I'm like, I'm celebrating everything. Big, small wins, losses. I'm celebrating losses because it was still an opportunity. I'm celebrating everything. And as I say that, it's just like, man, I have really grown because I remember I would not even have said any of that. I embrace the fact that people will find what I do or what I say inspiring. I embrace the fact that people want to work with me. I embrace the fact that people find what I do um, positive. I embrace those feelings. I embrace that, and it's not that braggadocious. It's not that. It's just like, man, I actually did that. I knew that I could do it, and then I actually did it. So for me, it's like definitely getting out of my comfort zone. I knew um, when I experienced a breakup, my most recent breakup, I knew that that breakup was going to be the thing that was like the catalyst for where I am right now. I knew. I felt it. It felt like it needed to happen. You ever been in a situation and you like, man, I just need um let them fire me or let them break up with me or something. You like, I just need something so I know. And I never asked for it. Let me just clear, I never asked to be broke up with. I never asked for any of that, but I knew um that I wasn't reaching my fullest potential because I was holding myself back. And I was holding myself back to make sure that the person that I was with was comfortable, that they were good. They were good. And then after the breakup, it was just like, okay, now why were you, what was that all about? And I'm asking myself the tough questions. That's another thing I'm going to say. Ask yourself the tough questions. If you ever walk into a room and you don't feel comfortable, ask yourself, why don't you feel comfortable? Especially if you're in a room of people where you know that I've always wanted to be here. You know that's where you always wanted to be. What makes you feel uncomfortable? Do you feel like you don't deserve to be there? Do you feel like people are judging you? Like, what makes you feel that? So I began to ask myself, like, why? What was it? And then the more I talked, not necessarily talk to myself, but the more that I verbalized where I was and the things that I was feeling, the more I verbalized, I understood, like, I dim my light so that the people around me will feel okay. And that's when I said, you know what? Fuck that. I'm turning my light so bright. My light is going to shine so bright where either you hop on board and shine your light with mine. Now we got a whole city full of light, or you can move stage left, exit stage left. Cause no longer are the days of me um, playing small. No longer are the days of me being humble. All of those days is come and gone. I have accepted the transition into confidence. I've accepted the transition into sharing. Sharing. I've embraced it. I've took the risk. I said 2023. I'm already out of my comfort zone, but I'm gonna be so far out of my comfort zone. I have plans on doing a lot more on camera things, even with um, even with the situation that I was in last year. Today, while I was planning out content, I said, you know what? I'm doing the same thing that I did in 2023 or 2022. I was so consumed with the process that, or what could be but wouldn't even happen process. You know, like when you get ready to say, okay, if I leave my job, that means I can't have money. I have to save up extra money to pay the rent, or I have to catch another job, or I have to, like, we already have these things, right? Instead of just saying, you know what? This is going to be the best thing that has ever happened to me. Being broken up with or being single is the best thing that has ever happened to me. I remember when I was younger and I used to go on dates by myself. I would take myself to the movies. I would take myself shopping. I would take myself to dinner. And I remember when I used to do that, right? And then as I'm thinking about relationships, I'm going over my life, right? And I was like, how did I lose that? I was spending so much time with myself. I would go and get my nails done. I would go and get my hair done. I would just make sure that I am okay. But when did I lose that? And then when you actually ask yourself the tough questions and you actually look back at it, it's like, man, I lost that a long time ago. I was basically rolling on autopilot. Have you ever felt like you're riding on autopilot? Like I want to apply for that management position or supervisor position, but at this time, I don't feel qualified. I know I could do the job. I just don't feel qualified. I know they probably gonna ask me for a high school diploma or GED, or they're gonna ask me if I've been to college, or they're gonna ask me all these different things. I'm gonna tell you right now, stop doing that to yourself. Stop putting on all of that unnecessary weight, unnecessary burden on yourself. Experience it. Experience life. Experience the moment. I told one of the people that I dated previously in my life, I said, you know what? If we live in the moment, shit ain't gonna be rainbows and sunshines, peaches and cream every day, all day. You can't have good without bad. You can't have bad without good. So if you take the time to embrace me, I embrace you, you embrace me, and we talk about everything, we will make it through this. We will make it through this. But if you feel like you just gonna hold it over here because you've been telling people and nobody listened to you, or you gonna hold it over here because that's just not something that I do. You trying to change me? I'm not trying to change you. I'm trying to show you, like, hey, if we come together, it's you and me against the world. You ever told somebody that in a relationship? It's me and you against the world. I don't care what the world say. I don't care what anybody say. I'm with you. I'm rocking with you, right? It was one of those kind of situations for me. And then when the boat start the boat started rocking, it was just like i'm I'm still with it. The other person was just like, yeah, nah, I'm cool on it. I'm cool on it. And now I'm sitting here, it's like, damn, I was willing to go the extra mile, the distance for you. Like, we are ultimately a awesome power couple. You do photography and video. I do work with artists, and they always need photography and video. It's ultimate was the ultimate setup, right? I had to. I was processing it, right? I processed how it happened. I processed when it happened. I processed the result of it happen. I processed everything, right? And I am so grateful that I made the decision that I did. Even the fact that I made the decisions that I did showed how much I had grown. Because I'm the type of person, I fight for what I believe in. I fight for it. I don't care if it's Jesus and God standing at the gates of heaven. I'm going to fight for whoever I rock with, whatever I rock with. I'm going to stand 10 toes down on it, and I'm going to fight. Fight. I don't mean like with my hands, but I mean I'm gonna fight. I'm gonna push. I'm gonna make you question everything. I'm gonna push. We gonna fight. Not like that. Let me say that again. We're not gonna physically fight, but I'm gonna fight for what I want. I'm gonna fight for what I believe in. I'm with all of that. And so as I'm processing my life, I'm on the journey of healing and self discovery. I am enjoying this process, right? Because it allows me to get to know me better. I feel like a lot of people don't know who they are. I asked a question a couple of weeks ago. Who are you without your traumas? Who are you? If your mother, if you have a family member's on drugs, and God, like, miraculously like took everything away, who would they be? mm, Most of us will still look at them as, you know, a drug addict or a thief or most of us will still look at them like that, even though they have changed. I'm gonna say this right here. Right? I'm gonna say this, and hopefully, I'm just gonna say it. Um, we look at Chris Brown, right? Chris Brown was 17, 18 years old when all of that shit happened with him and Rihanna, right? He's 33 years old. It's like if every time he says something or do something, you just go, "Hey, look what you did. Remember what you did?" Nobody wants that. Nobody wants to be a part of anything like, well, wait, I don't want to. I don't want that. I don't want to be a part of anything like that. I want to be a part of things that's going to help people grow and learn. Yes, you did something really fucked up. Yes, you shouldn't have done it. Yes, you understand that you shouldn't have done it. You paid the price for doing it. I'm not going to keep making you relive that. That's why I think like, you know, when you've been in a relationship and you hear people talking or whatever, and then they're like, girl, I went through his phone and I saw this, or bro, I went through her phone and I saw this, right? You get into that, and now it's like, I don't want to leave them because we've been together for so long and we just bought a house and we are planning for this. And at the same time, there is a massive level of disrespect right there. I feel like anybody who truly, truly loves and appreciates you will not do anything to harm you. Not accidentally, not intentionally. They will not do any, they will do everything within their power to love you back beyond. I'm thinking about transitions and I was like, you know what? I would have fought for this. The entire time I was fighting for it, I would have fought even more. I would have fought Jesus. And you know what that's saying. I would have fought Jesus like, no, our real life and rocking with this, I could literally be here for the rest of my life. I'm rocking with it. But then I even began to think, where did that come from? I'm not telling you to go out, be out here questioning everything, but I am telling you to question a lot of things because I was questioning, like, where did that come from? Where did that, I'm just going to fight regardless of how shitty I feel, or I'm going to continue to uplift regardless of how bad I am hurting. Where does that come from? We see that all the time. We experience it when we're growing up in our households. We look for our mother's love. We look for our father's love. We look for our siblings' love, especially if you are the younger one. You look up to your sibling. So whatever they tell you to do, whenever they tell you to do it, you probably have some rebuttal because these kids nowadays be rebutting everything. But you probably get some rebuttal, but they're gonna do it. They're gonna do it. I think about um, going from something as having a code, right? Having a code, and they say do this, do this, do this, and this. Take tea, sleep, sweat it out, all of those different things, right? But they don't prepare you. Okay, so you have a whole list of things to do while you're sick, and then once you're not sick, it's like, okay, what do I do now? Because I'm not sick. I don't need to reference that until the next time I get sick, but I'm not sick. I I began to think about how many risks that I took, and not like, mm, wait, I did. I was to say I didn't take any major risks. Oh, I definitely took some major risks, and I'm so grateful that those major risks turned out greater than I could have ever imagined. But I thought about the risks that I would take. A perfect example is YouTube. Like I was on YouTube. I would release a video every day. I was just heavily into it, and I started to think like, I don't want this to just be my life on YouTube. I want more. I want to share more. I want to inspire more. I want to build a community. I want to connect on a different level. I want to do all of that. And then I was like, well, how do I do that? What vehicle do I use to do that? Like, what's going on? Like, how do I be better? How do I be better? how do I grow? What is necessary? What do I need to let go in order for me to grow? And for me, I had to let go of myself. Let go of myself. Let go of my wanting to love everybody, support everybody. Just be. I had to let that go and let everybody sit on their own 10 toes and 2 feet and just watch from a distance. You ever watch somebody bake a cake and it's like, oh, I forgot the eggs, or I forgot the milk, or I forgot. It's always something, right? Forgetting. Me, in 2023, I'm taking so many risks. I'm so out of my comfort zone. And then when I say take risks, I'm not like out here just doing reckless shit or being, I'm not doing that. But what I am doing is I'm taking the risk of, okay, I want to do this concert series and I have the date, I have the time. I damn near got the artist to fill out the, would you like to sponsor me? Here's why you should sponsor me. Here's what I plan to do with your sponsorship. I would have never thought about sponsorships, reaching out to people to actually sponsor. I wouldn't have never thought about doing that. Never. But now, since I'm in a place where I'm being more vocal and applying more emotions to, more words to my emotions, I've been doing things. I've been shocking myself. Like, wait, did we just, yeah, we just did that. And then it's like, oh, I could get used to this. I could get used to this. I'm at the point now where it's like I could get used to, um well, I'm already used to being alone, but I could get used to traveling by myself. I could get used to quitting a job and then going to, and not like regularly, but I could commit to saying, okay, 3 months from now, 1 month, 2 years, whatever people be, I want to be here. In order for me to get here, I have to, this is the steps that I need to take to get there. And number one of them is change my perspective, change my understanding of how things go. Change it. If it don't work, change it. If it's not working, change it. Sorry, y'all. Whoa. Change it. We are so afraid to change. I remember saying, like, you know what, if I ever, have a breakup, I was just gonna be single. I was gonna be single. I'm not ready to mingle. I'm not ready to date. I'm not ready to do any of that. I'm just gonna be existing. And then I'm, healing childhood issues, overcoming things, and then it was just like, holy shit. I can feel, not only can I see the growth, I can feel the growth. And I am appreciative for the journey. I'm so grateful for the journey. I'm so, I'm gonna keep saying I'm so grateful for the journey. I, I needed, um, signs and wonders, not signs and wonders, but I needed somebody to be like, hey, listen, like, people be like, oh yeah, I got yes man. I don't want a yes man. I want somebody that's gonna be like, hey, while you had a good first attempt with this, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's figure it out, and so that when you present it, it'll be good. I began to embrace the process. Embracing the process is not just like, oh yeah, this happened. It's like feeling the emotions, applying words to your emotions, and just understanding like life is gonna life in everybody's life. That was crazy. Life is gonna life in everybody's life. Life is gonna do what it was assigned to do from the deity, the man, the woman, whoever you believe in. That's what they were assigned to do. We lose our job, the first thing like, man, I'm gonna pay my bills or whatever like that. You're talented. Tap in some of the other things. I like when I scroll on Instagram and people are like talking about ISB ISBID or IS, like things to keep track of stuff, right? I think to myself, had I not like dealt with issues of my childhood, had I not um paid attention, had I not paid attention during the journey, I probably wouldn't be right here. I probably still be on the other side complaining, wishing things were different, wanting things to be different, filled with anger, filled with bitterness because it's not going my way. When I could, all I have to do is recognize that I am um, the master of my destiny. Yes, the deity or whoever you serve is the master of your destiny. But I ultimately, like, you say you hungry, right? You know that if you don't get up and go get some food, what's gonna happen? You gonna either be hungrier or you gonna go to sleep hungry. Like you're gonna be hungry if you don't get up and make action, put action towards that so that you can eat. You're gonna be hungry. It's a transition. Okay, I'm hungry now. Do I want to go out to eat? Do I want to go in the kitchen to cook something to eat? Like there's questions that come all of the time, but we just like to say shh, shh, shh. We don't want to hear that. We don't want to hear those questions right now. We just want to do, we just want to say I'm hungry and somebody gonna feed me. It's it's being able to recognize different stops on a journey. And I say different stops because I remember when I first started this journey, I was transported to eight. And when I say I remember vividly everything that happened, I remember where we lived at, I remember everything. I survived all of that, right? And then I get to the point where I'm going to therapy and it's like, hey, well, you got to go back there because even like when I just said, I recognized why I never celebrated my accolades. I realized why I didn't receive love. I couldn't receive love. I could, technically, I could, but I was so consumed with making sure everybody around me was okay that I never even gave that measure of love back to myself. So, the end of 2022 and right now, I've been loving on myself more. And I'm not just saying, like, oh, I'm hugging myself, but I'm saying loving on myself more. I'm listening more. The other day, my eyes could not stay open for nothing. I was playing Call of Duty Mobile, and I'm like, okay, am I tired? But I'm not tired. And my body was just like, we just need to rest. Just close your eyes, put your meditation moving music on, and just rest. I last year around this time where I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna bring my workouts back, and I literally just said I'm bringing the workouts back. Right? I know that I can't work out at the height in which I was working out last year, so I was like, I need to figure out how I'm going to be able to work out and not put too much stress and tension, and still accomplish the goal. And so I did a lot of research on different workouts and stuff, and I was like, I got my workout. I got what I'm going to do. Now I can't like go full 30, 45 minutes like I used to, but I'm going to have to work myself back up there. So, of course, I'm going to enjoy the process. I'm going to enjoy the transition from here to here. I was I'm looking to um develop my melanated musicology podcast into video podcast, right? And I'm trying to figure out like, okay, who I'm gonna interview, what I'm gonna talk about. Like, why would somebody come and interview with me, or why would somebody even accept my invitation to have a conversation? Like, why? And then it was like, let's switch that. Like, you ever had somebody tell you, you ever had somebody tell you that I can't? My brother said the cutest thing to my nephew. My nephew was like, he said, "Zip your coat up or something." And he was like, I can't." And so my brother, with a smooth, calm voice, was like, if you don't know how to do something, always ask for help. I thought about my different transitions in life, and I was like, I need to talk to people who have been divorced. I need to talk to people who have been in a relationship, and a relationship, went the other way. I need to talk to you so I could see, like, you can share. I feel like, hi, Happy. I feel like you could share information with me. You could share what it's like to walk down that road. And if there's any obstacles coming up, you could share that. You could let me know and be like, hey, um, this is your first year of, dating or whatever. But here's what I'm going to tell you, the most important part. So you could say, here's the top 5 things you should do while you're dating. I'm giving you YouTube ideas. Here's the top 5 things you should do while you're dating or while you're married or while you're in a relationship, right? And then give me your top 5. I'm all for, like I said at the beginning of the discussion, I'm all for celebrating. I'm all for being open to people's opinions. All for it. I'm here to learn. I'm here to learn as much as I can, apply it as much as I can, and I'm here to affect change in everybody. Everybody I meet, whether it be on YouTube, TikTok, in person, like I'm that's my ultimate objective. To change the course of the way life is going. Have a little small slither. Not small. See what I just did there? I just made it having a slither, a slew of people that wants to come and be interviewed by me. That's my objective for 2023, to figure out how to turn it into that. And so I'm watching other video podcasts. I'm taking notes. I'm like, okay, this is what I want to do. I said, this is what I want to do. And no sooner than I said that, someone was like, hey, I think we should do this for your platform. And I'm just sitting here looking like, okay. Okay. It's still to this it's still to this very day a little difficult for me to get used to accepting it. It's a lot. It's a lot. But I will say this, right? Hi, Don. Um accept the transition, accept the change. I know we dread it. I know it's like, oh man, I gotta start over. Oh man, I'm gonna spend all my money. Oh man, it's always an oh man. I know that's difficult. I know it's like, shell, it's hard as fuck to get out of my comfort zone. I've been trying. Take baby steps. Take baby steps. Most people will be like, okay, if you are thinking about becoming an entrepreneur, I will tell you this. Think long and hard about it. Because the money ain't going to be there right away. There's people that's going to gatekeep. That's the new buzzword. Gatekeep. When it comes to manufacturing, when it comes to things like that. I want you to embrace the transition. I want you to embrace change. Maybe you've been in a relationship with this person for 15, 16, 17 years, right? If they haven't showed you any signs that the relationship is going to go greater, get out. If you've been at a job and they've kept you at this same spot, a lot of times, my brother told me something. He said a lot of times people become complacent at that. They don't argue. They don't ask for a raise. They don't do anything because they're okay with having this. This helps them pay their rent, pay their lights, pay their. They're okay with that. Now, if you interfere with that, for me, it's like I'm okay whether I don't got it. I said, I had spent my last on Friday, right? And I was like, I need money. I need to figure out how or what I'm going to do. And my brother come in and he hands me an envelope. I look at the envelope and the envelope is it was a check. Here I am laughing because I was like, man, I need to get some money. And then for 2 days, I don't, just in case you're wondering, like, why, I don't go outside. Um, I'm processing, I'm processing the trauma, which was last February, early March events. So I'm still processing that trauma. And what trauma are you talking about? The trauma where I had my stomach completely open, and then they say, hey, 6 to 8 weeks, you'll be fine. 6 to 8 weeks came and I am not fine. I thought I was just going to boop, bounce back and be working it out. I thought I was going to do all of that. That's what I thought, right? But as I tested out doing exercise, which exercises I was going to do, as I tested out, like, everything I've been testing out, it has been working. Some things have been working a little too well. I I don't know how, but it's been working a little too well for me, and I'm grateful for um the ability to see myself, the ability to see myself, and the ability to see like how much I have grown. I remember I said I want to start a podcast on YouTube. And I was like, I already had this name. I had this name. I had everything already ready to go. And it came time to do it, and I was just like, "Ooh, I'm not ready yet." But I was ready the entire time. But I was just like, not ready yet. Give me a few. And life was like, we don't got time. Either you gonna do it right now, or you gonna keep putting it off to. I thought, as I was like, yeah, I scored it. I casually be dropping this and that. Yeah, I scored a documentary. You did? What is it called? And I say, growing up in Milwaukee. I was like, I just watched that. It's on HBO Max. Yeah, I just watched that. Now I'm just thinking like, I said one day I am going to score a documentary. And then I started to think about all the things that I accomplished um, in life. And I was like, oh, my entire life prepared me for where I am right now. Prepared me. I remember I would be like, I don't ever, if I get in a relationship, I'm not getting a divorce. I'm not doing any of those things, right? And I said it because I was like so head over heels. And I just say, it was just like, I really feel like you are my person. And then shit started to hit the fan, and it was like, no, but I still feel like you are my person. I still feel like that. You ever like dated someone and then the relationship ended and you still feel like that's what it is? Yo, people say, okay, you did this shift last time. And you say, no, I can't do it this time because I have other things to do. You you like, well, it's a transition. Like, people won't leave a relationship because they are afraid of being alone. People won't leave the job because they're afraid that they won't have enough money to pay their bills. I just told my brother, I was like, I would be I would be cool. Like, I don't want to buy my own house. I've never. If you know me, I'm with the loft with the um exposed piping with the brick wall. I'm for a loft all day. I am for a loft all day. But I told my brother, he's like, oh yeah, we should, pull together. And I was like, I'm I don't want to do that. I would contribute if like it's like a community hub like this. Everybody has been. I would contribute to that. I would definitely be a part of that. But um I can't be like, well, I don't, because it's bigger than me. Life right now for you is bigger than you. If you are a parent and you have kids, it's far greater for you. Far greater. Because you could look back at yourself and think about, like, say you have a 16-year-old, right? You should be able to look back at yourself and say, okay, when I was 16, I was doing this. And then not just be strict on them, not just be like, well, you're not going to do this. But, like, show them Be vulnerable with them and tell them like what happened and where you are with your life or how you get to the point where you got or what their grandparents is like tell. I feel like people should tell that. I was fortunate enough. My granny wrote essays and novels because she's a writer. She wrote all these different things. I was fortunate enough for that. I was fortunate enough to have a history of my grandparents or my great aunties and how they transitioned from Mississippi up north. I will forever be grateful for um, everything that I've gone through. How do you be grateful for? I'm grateful for everything because it taught me a lesson. I'm I am just as brilliant as I believe that I am, that I say that I am. My brilliance is actually starting to show right now, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful for it. I'm wonderfully, tremendously grateful for it. I decided, you know what? I'm a work over here. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. And then it was like, no, I don't want to do that. I just want to do this. And if I have some extra time, I'll do that. But my main focus is this. My main focus is to build my YouTube up. It's my main focus. The strangest thing, I'm gonna say strange because I don't know, but I never told anybody to follow or promote. Like I promote I promote the Nurture Conversations. But other than that, I wasn't like, hey, come meet me over here. I wasn't doing any of that. And then I woke up and was like, why don't I do any of that? Why? How do I be better? How do I be better? I don't want to be bitter, but how do I be better? I really hope I'm not getting a cold. Uh, how do I get out of my comfort zone? I think for me, the pandemic definitely kicked me out of my comfort zone, but then all of the events of the last 3 years solidified that I'm so far out of my comfort zone. It might take Jesus to bring me back, but I don't plan on coming back to my comfort zone. I do plan on living my best life and living it to the complete fullness. In order to do that, I have to be honest with myself. I have to be in a unique um, environment where it is conducive to positivity, um, strength, courage. I have to be in that kind of environment. I started going back to pitch events and accelerator things because I needed to be in the entrepreneurial space again. I needed to be there. I needed to know what new laws, what I needed to be there. So I'm gonna take the risk and do whatever I need to do to build my YouTube back up, to get sponsorships for the Nurturing Conversations podcast, to get sponsorships for the karaoke. That's my objectives. My objectives is to be great. My objective is to leave a legacy where people will be like, you know what, this is what we need in order to be successful. Hello, Fancy. Um, I'm about to say good night too. I told my niece I was like, I need to go to bed tonight. I can't be playing Call of Duty Mobile all night. That's discipline. I need to go to bed and then at least get a couple of hours, and then I can wake up and play Call of Duty Mobile. But no, it's about taking risks. I wrote down six things to help you to adjust, to embrace the transition. I'm sorry. Let me lift it up. I wrote down six things. Okay. So I said at the beginning that the beginning of change is the ending of something that was. So it's always going to be a beginning and it's always going to be an ending. And I know that change is not easy. It's not easy, but it is necessary. It is necessary for you to get the house, the car, the business. It's necessary for you to do that. Um, and it's okay to be, hmm, it's okay to have fear. It's okay to be anxious, but it's not okay to stay there. It's not okay to if every time you go through something it's the same. It's not. That's not okay. You should. There should be some form of growth. I'm super excited because I'm bringing my concert series back, and I've just been watching. I've been watching artists, been talking to artists, and everybody. I'm gonna announce it in the coming weeks, and when everybody knows, oh, you doing that? I want to get on the show. I want to do. I'm gonna be bombarded with that, and for me, it's like you couldn't even. You couldn't even do the first step, and that subscribe. Hit the subscribe button for me. That's all you gotta do. It's not you don't have to pay anything. It's free. I want I want the my interactions with you. I want it to be like if you have a question where you can hit me on any one of the social medias that is on the screen, like you could actually change. We could all change. Let me get back to my list. I'm sorry, I went on a little. Um, so 6 things that can help you embrace change. Risk. Good risk, bad risk, take risk. Life is too short to stay stuck. Take the risk. 2, find you somebody who has already been where you're trying to go because they will have so much knowledge, so many things that they can share with you. Like I was telling people when I was drinking and driving, I'm not highlighting that. I'm just saying I was drinking and driving. I make it my business to tell everybody. If I go to a party, I'm telling everybody. Um, I can't afford for my life. I'm thinking I'm doing the right thing, hopping in the car with you, but then you're drinking or you're driving or you're smoking or whatever it is that you're doing and you're driving, you are now putting us both in jeopardy. I don't want to do that. I want to have somebody who can be like, hey, you got this business. Here's what you need to do for the business. Here's where you need to go. Make sure you have this. Here's a good accountant. I want them to, all of that. I want all of that because that's going to make me a better person. I said I wanted a mentor that's going to challenge me and not just challenge me to be like egotistical or like, yeah, I'm greater than you. Not that. I want them to challenge me to push me further into my creativity. Have a coach or mentor. Number 3 is to keep moving. Take what works, what didn't work, and keep moving. You wanted to start a business, but you couldn't get nobody, or I be telling artists all the time, you have a show and you can't sell 10 tickets. That means you need to go and start talking to your fans. I could talk to them for you, but I'm not the person that they're going to see on the stage. I'm not the person that they're going to buy the merch from. They're going to buy it from you. And if you don't even take the time to address them as a human being, but most people, have you ever been on Facebook and got tagged in a status that had like 90 or 50 other people in it? You didn't even think enough of me to say, hey, you could have put my email into a thing and said, hey, hope all is well, hope happy Sunday. Like when I do, I just started posting on other social medias. I was like, hey, I hope you had a wonderful Sunday, or join me. I look forward to seeing you. Um, I'm talking to them. Sometimes I go with my face and talk to them, and sometimes I put it in the little reels or the stories. I address people. When I come here, like when I started this, I said thank you to the people who support the channel. I want people to feel appreciated. I want people to feel, to know that they matter. You matter to me. I'm looking at the camera right now. You matter to me. Being here right now while I'm talking, I've only been live for an hour, and I told my niece, I said I'm only talk for an hour tonight. I'm going over by 5 minutes. I said I'm gonna only talk for an hour because I need to get sleep because this week is a really important week for me, and I need to have all the sleep because I have 3 meetings, two 3 meetings, 2 lunch dates. I have like I'm trying to, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. I am, not trying. I am striving. I am striving to pull off a concert series, get sponsorships from local people, from non local people. I have things that I am striving to do and accomplish this week. In order to do that, I need to have proper rest. That's something that I learned about myself. Because if you know me, I would be up to the wee hours of the morning working, figuring things out. I catch a little cat nap. Now, sleep has become my best friend. Even if I'm not sleeping, just laying in the bed and just being still. Stillness is my best friend. That in and of itself is a transition for me. I didn't know what it was like to sleep. I I not I made a joke, but it probably wasn't funny to people, but it was funny to me because I never knew that I knew that I had a ceiling fan, but I never paid attention to the ceiling fan until I had got sick. When I had COVID, I couldn't do anything but lay in the bed, and I was like, "Holy shit! I got a ceiling. It's a really nice ceiling fan." But I was never laying in my bed. I would fall asleep on the couch. I would fall asleep in a chair. I wasn't sleeping. I have a Tempur-Pedic bed. How am I not sleeping in my bed? I'm transitioned from just like falling asleep wherever I'm sitting or whatever to like getting going in my room, pulling the covers back, making sure I put my bonnet on and going to sleep. Turning to meditation, saying my little mantras and then going to sleep. That's my thing now. That's my thing. Um Let me get back to my list. I'm sorry, y'all. Number 4, okay, let me go back. It's one is continue to take risks. Life is too short. Take risks. If you want to start a YouTube, start a YouTube. If you don't know, like if people gonna like it, just do a bunch of them. Do mukbangs, do pranks, do challenges. Look at the analytics. Go into your YouTube studio and look at the analytics and see which ones that people watch the most, and stick with that. I say try everything. I'm still trying everything. Try everything. Number 2 is get you a coach or a mentor, or somebody who has already been down the road that you want to go. They can help guide you. Number 3 is continue pushing forward. Keep creating, keep writing, keep singing, keep putting outlines together, keep creating the content. Number 4 is continue to learn. There is YouTube, there is Google, there is somebody who mentored that has already been down that line. Number 5 is don't give up. It might not ever look like you are being successful. You ever saw that little meme where it's like the guy at the top is like there's a ton of diamonds, right? And so he's digging, and he every time he dig, he's finding a diamond. And then there's the guy at the bottom, and it has the big diamond, like the biggest diamond ever. And so he's this close to just hitting the diamond, right? So he leaves his, and then he goes up there to the other person. And it's like, no, if you just stay in your lane, stay in your lane, stay your course. It might look dark. You might have to jump over hurdles. You have to tread through the mud. Don't give up. And number 6 is the most important. Is to pay attention while you are on the journey. Pay attention while you are in the transition. You ever ended something and was like, oh my God, I'm so hurt. I'm so disappointed in myself, whether it's other people you're just disappointed. And it's just like, I don't even know if I want to try again because that didn't work. And then you get in this space. It's like a low space. And then once you start with one of those things, then you just a slippery slope. You just go slide down. I said to myself that I was going to bounce back from everything that happened to me in 2020 up until now. I was going to bounce back so tough. And when I tell y'all, this week is going to be a great week. Don't worry, I'm going to share some stuff with y'all. But I've bounced back. I've bounced back on a level where I am shocking myself at that I am bouncing back. I could have been like, I'm never going to love again. I'm never going to be in another relationship. Now, I have said that I'm not getting married again. I don't, I won't do that again. I'm good. One is enough for me. But I cannot deny someone the opportunity of being in a relationship with me. I cannot. I definitely feel like I'm going to be um, in, in an amazing power couple situation with the next person that I be with. I feel that. Like I know that. Like it's like I took the time to heal and get to know myself and understand my likes and dislikes and what I will tolerate and what I won't tolerate, and just understand why I tolerated so many things in my previous relationships. Understand why I felt the need to go above and beyond. Why I deny myself. Why I dimmed my own light. I understood all of that. And now I'm in a place where it's like, oh, this next relationship? I mean, I thought the last relationship was, but this next relationship though? And I know you probably like, man, I said that about the, but it's only what you make it. I realize like I'm not one of those people that be checking people's phones or Facebook or social media. That people be checking people DMs and stuff. I don't feel like I gotta do all that. If you can't see the beauty that is me, if you can't understand like I am God's greatest gift to the earth. I know that might sound real cocky, but that's how I feel. Anyways, and anyone would love to be with me. I think everybody should have that. Like anybody would love to be with me. And then you just start saying, I'm beautiful, I'm smart, I'm intelligent, I know how to maneuver, I know how to get the job done. I'm a handler. That's what I do. I know how to get the job done. When you start thinking about that, it's like, why would I sit here and say I'm never gonna fall in love again? You're gonna fall in love, whether it be a puppy, a animal, a baby, a sibling. You're gonna always be surrounded by love, whether we believe it or not. We're gonna always be surrounded by love. There's gonna come disappointment. So I begin to tell myself, like, as long as I have been alive, I have experienced like sadness, fear, anger. I've experienced these in like every decade, month, year, week of my life. I've experienced it. And what I realize is when I first experienced it, there's been a significant change from when I first experienced it until now. And the most important part of that was getting to the roots of why it even existed. You got to get to the root of it. What made me say I'm not going to get married again? I have a whole list of things. And I'm saying it right now because I'm still processing. I'm still working through that. I'm sure, the right person come along and they just, knock me, sweep me off my feet, then yeah, of course. But right now, I'm just not there yet. I'm just not there yet. And being able to say, I am not there yet, I can see it happening, but I'm just not there yet. That takes a lot. It takes a lot for me to say that. Because me knowing me, and it just be like, no, I'm good. Oh, I'm definitely good. People, you're not ready to date? No, I'm not. And I'm not rushing for anyone or anything. I'm just going to take my time and enjoy this journey. I'm paying attention, and as I pay attention, I discovered that I have a fear, or I had a fear of success. I discovered that I dim my light so that I can make everyone else comfortable. I discovered that I never celebrated any accolades. Um, I never highlighted. I never talked about it. I never did any of that. I also was incapable of receiving love and compliments. But I only discovered that going on a journey of healing and self discovery. I only discovered that because I really got sick of like carrying around baggage from my past. I really got sick. They'd be like, when a person is fed up, they would change. But up until when they not fed up, they're not gonna change for what? What do I need to change for? Everything is going great. My bills are paid. I got somebody that come home to me every night. We're not in a committed relationship, but I mean we're here with each other. We're like roommates, but we're here with each other. I don't want to do that. I want to be better. I want to be better. The things that I read, I want to be able to apply them. The things that I know, the people I get I have mentorship, people that offer me advice. I want to be able to use them and share love, share peace, share light. That's who I want to be. Light, love, and positivity. Or that's who I will be. That's who I am. Ha! That's who I am. Light, love, and positivity. I created this whole Nurturing Conversation podcast because there are so many topics that I feel that people are either afraid to talk about, they're afraid to touch, they don't want people to judge them about that certain thing. I don't give a fuck. You can do all of that for me. And make sure you click and subscribe while you're doing all of that. You should definitely come back and say, dang, you know what? Hit that subscribe button and come back. That's all I got, y'all. Let me give y'all my list again. 6 things to help you embrace transition. 1, risk. Life is too short to stay stuck. You have survived your life and a global fucking pandemic. If you are not living your best life right now, when you wake up in the morning and say, I am about to live my best life, and live it. Do whatever it is that makes you happy. As long as it doesn't harm anyone else. But do whatever it is that makes you happy. Number 2, find a coach or a mentor, somebody who has been down the same road that you are on. Number 3, keep creating, keep writing, keep singing, keep performing. Number 4 is keep learning. Learn from everything. Everything. You probably don't think like, oh, why should I? Learn it. You will never know when it will come in handy. Number 5, don't give up. Don't give up. And number 6, pay attention during the journey. Be in the moment. Acknowledge every place that it takes you. Just be in the moment. That's all I got, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in. I said I did an hour and 19. I'm about to go and rest for a while. I am going to come and play Call of Duty mode, but I'm going to rest for a while. I appreciate you for coming in. If you come back, if you watch this on a replay, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. It helps me suggest it on YouTube. I hope that something I said tonight you find inspirational. You find that it was the thing you needed to hear so that you can change. That's what I hope. That's all I got. Remember that it is important for you to use your words. That is the only way that anyone will ever know what you are feeling or what you are thinking. I will never let a live video, vlog, short, podcast, anything that I present to you go out without me telling you to love yourself. This includes your faults, your fears, your failures. Know yourself, trust yourself, and for the love of humanity, just be yourself. Why? Because you need you, I need you. This great big old world needs you to be exactly who you were created to be. Everybody else is already taken. If anybody in your life cannot love, respect, or appreciate you for being authentically you, you do not need them. You do not. Make sure you get your toiletries, non-perishable food items, water, disinfectant, set some cash money to the side. And if you are engaging in adult activities, make sure that you wrap it up. Because despite being in a global fucking pandemic, the STD rates are rising. That's all I got. Until next time, I hope that you have a wonderful, wonderful evening. I love you. Peace.